Hello. Hello, creators. Just doing a quick sound check here. Seeing if I can do that. Sound checking. Sound checking. Welcome to Frequency Friday. Whew, let's relax in, huh? We're going to have some fun today. We're going to embody fun. There it is. There's my sound. I hear it. Hello, hello. Say hello in the comments in the chat if you are here. Let me know how you are feeling today. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome. It's a beautiful day where I am here. Whew. Yeah, lots going on, huh? The retrograde season is kind of over for the most part. We still have a little bit of retrograde action. I'm seeing some heart emojis. Kimberly's here. Hello. Welcome. Teresa's here. Good morning. It's a beautiful day. And I think, fingers crossed, the mowing has already been done. Because that's what I woke up to. So, yes, drop a hello in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling today. How have things been going? In a few words, let me know. Oh, yes, thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, this is my daughter's little headband that I borrowed. So, kind of gives a flower child vibe. We're having a little fun today. Just keeping things light and airy and fun, because we need more of that. So yeah, she'll be happy that this is my daughter when she was a baby. But she'll be happy that I used her flowers. She likes that. She's like, "Oh, you wore my headband on YouTube." She'll be so excited for that. Some deep breaths. All right, I'm going to grab a timestamp here. And we are going to just kind of go over some stuff, just a welcoming. Please go ahead and drop in the chat how you're feeling today. So, welcome to Frequency Friday, everyone. And I'm so happy to have you here for whatever amount of time you are able to spend. I'm live here on the channel every Friday, usually at 10 a.m. There will be the occasional time change if I have other things going on. So sometimes it might be later in the afternoon. But this is a collective, chill vibe and hangout. It's for us to just kind of sit back and share and be present with the energies and what's going on. Maybe learn something that we didn't know before. And today's focus is going to be fun because I don't know if you're like me, but I'm coming up on a milestone birthday. I am almost a half a century. When you say it that way, half a century old. Woo! It makes me feel so wise. And I'm just really grateful to be here and doing what I love to do and being in community with you all. And, one of the things that as you grow into adulthood and you get responsibilities and you do that kind of stuff, you just, I don't know, you don't want to, one second here. Hello. Um, you don't want to get too stressed out and wrapped up in things. And some things you don't care about that you did when you were young, but some things you care about more because you have to, right? And yes, I was born in the 1900s. Yes, it's true. The late 1900s, though, the last quarter. So, it's just a reminder to let loose and be your free self, embody that inner child that once got to run free, and just have good time. Just have a good time, right? All right, so get settled in. I'm going to go over a few things here. I'm going to go over a few things and we're going to talk through the welcome. Welcome to the new subscribers, right? So, new subscribers, welcome. I see Zara Lass here. Hello. Working and lurking. I love that term. I know you coined it. It's so funny because it's like, okay, I'm working and I'm lurking. I'm kind of like, I'm in and out. So, Sunday Q&As, everybody. I wanted to talk about this for a minute. So, if you'd like to come on the channel, this is for subscribers only, and you'd like to get a personal mini reading, okay, for free, right? Donations are always welcome. Thank you to those of you who donate so kindly. That is helpful to support the channel. But if you want to get a free mini reading from me, you come on a Sunday Q&A. It's Sunday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? And we're going to have May 18th, June 1st, June 15th, and June 29th. There's 3 Q&As in June. So the next one in May is the 18th, and these are Sunday evenings. It's every other Sunday evening. June 1st, June 15th, June 29th. Also, that's a fun time. We have a great time. We have a great community, and it's just a lot of fun. So, the other thing that I want to remind everybody of is that the May monthly predictions are up for all signs right now. So, all 12 signs, the May monthly predictions are up. You can check that out. I always recommend looking at the readings that represent your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, and your north node. That's the intention I set when I read for those particular styles of reading. So you may want to just see where your intuition takes you and where you're called to go with that, but they are up, all of them. Now, my take on predictions, I wanted to speak on this because I don't approach predictions like maybe traditionally speaking, right? It's not that when I read the energies, like I'm predicting everything that's going to happen. All right. I'm looking at what I'm looking into is the potential energies that are in your greater being. So if I'm looking at Scorpio, I'm looking at the Scorpio greater being collective energies and what the potentials look like. And those will stand out. And those are what I read to. Now, potential energy is just that, it's potential. So you have to, as the viewer, decide what resonates and doesn't resonate with you. If I'm reading a collective, sometimes I'm going to hit on your energy and sometimes I'm going to hit on someone else's. So you just have to keep that in mind. And I trust that the people that come to my channel are in that frame of mind and mature enough to know that I'm not going to solve all your problems. You're going to solve all your problems, right? The readings aren't meant to do that. They're meant to help you reflect, go deeper in with yourself, maybe get some helpful tips for how you might move energy in your own life. But you are the creator of your life. I'm just here as someone to remind you that you are that creator on the path. And so take that for what you will. And also, you'll know your intuition will tell you, yes, that's the wave I need to catch, or that's for somebody else, right? And you just kind of let the things go that don't resonate and you just take with you what does. So keep that in mind as well, everyone, that you don't have to take everything and be like, oh, this little thing was said and I got to do it. No, no, no. Just what your intuition pulls you to. So just a friendly reminder there when you're listening to my readings or anyone else's readings, right? Take only what resonates. I have a Taurus bonus premiere happening tomorrow. So check that out, everybody. The Taurus bonus premiere. If you have Taurus in your chart somewhere, you may want to look at it from that perspective. But since we're in Taurus season, I decided and was called to do a bonus reading. So it's about, like a 20-minute reading for Taurus. So if that's something that calls to you, be sure to check that out. That will premiere tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. And that'll be here on the channel. And let's see. Teresa said the monthly is so good. Thank you, Teresa. Did I say Teresa? I meant to say Teresa. Teresa. Monthly is so good. And Kimberly says, I love the monthly readings. Every month feels like you are speaking directly to me. Even when you reference another sign I'm having an experience with, it's always spot on. Yeah, sometimes those other signs will pop into your sign's reading. And so it's like, okay, like there it is. Like that's what I needed to hear. That's the something that's sitting around me in my energy. And so I always try to mention that when I see them. Yeah, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. This is a nice compliment. I've got a new series coming out too, and you all are going to be the first to know here today. It's going to be a series of 7 videos on up leveling your life. So here at Creators on the Crest, we're all about inspiration, expansion, elevation, evolution. We're working to become the best versions of ourselves, right? We're working to become the best versions of ourselves here. So, this up leveling series is going to take us through different themes of how we might incorporate up leveling into different aspects of our life, whether it be relationship, career, confidence, abundance, right? Getting into these different areas. And it's going to be super fun. So that's in the works, and you'll start to see premieres, and those are going to come out over the next couple of weeks. So that's really exciting. Watch out for the Up Level series. And you will see me on the channel in the post column. I'll put up some post about it, and then there'll be some shorts, and then there'll be 7 different longer videos, somewhere between, I'd say like 15 to 25-minute videos. Okay. Ashley's here. Ashley, thank you. Yes, this is my daughter's headband. I borrowed it from her, but we're having fun today. It's so good to see you here, Ashley. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If any of you ladies are game for coming on co-stream for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or like with me during the collective oracle read, just say me and put your hand up in the reading. I know I had Karen last time. I don't think she's on at this time today, but if anybody else is interested and you're feeling like coming on, just drop me a comment there, okay, in the live chat, and I'll be watching for that. A very happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. Oh my goodness, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Do you have plans? What's going on? I know I will be hanging out with my kids a little later in the day. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. We might spend some time outdoors if it's nice, hopefully nice. But yeah, happy Mother's Day. Just a nice way to remember the moms and all the hard work that you put into your kids, to your life, to your home, to your family. Very, very happy Mother's Day to you all. So, okay. Ashley says, I want to come live someday. I need to overcome my deep fear of being in front of others. Okay, that's fine. And, you'll know when you're ready. You'll know when you're ready. And it won't be before and it won't be after. It'll be right at the right time. So I'm testing the co-stream live feature, and this is the final week that I'll be testing. So um definitely got to get one more person in. And I was asking for a girl because I had Jason, I had Steven Zaralath on. That was so cool, like to have the guys on, and then I had Karen on, and I wanted like another female to come on. So if any of you feel comfortable, but don't force it. If you're like, no, I just am not feeling it today, you got to trust what's on the inside, because Jason's kind of my backup. We need to make another video. He will come on with me and we will do a mobile live and test it out a little bit more. But it's a fun feature, and I'm getting used to it, and it's different at first, but it also can add a lot. Like when we did it last week with Karen, she was on during the collective reading, and she could kind of give her take on the cards, and then I gave my, and we kind of went back and forth. We noticed they were, when one person was talking, it was kind of freezing the other person. And I think that's something like that didn't happen, I don't think, the first 2 weeks. I think maybe from the feedback, they were testing that out. So I'm curious to see if that would happen again. I'm not sure. I'm going to grab another timestamp here, and I'm going to put us at doing an astrology check here. All right. And so let me go over the astrology for what we're dealing with. First of all, The day after Mother's Day, which is Sunday, on Monday, we have the Scorpio full moon. And the theme that I feel is really coming up with this moon is really aligning with your emotional truth. And so you may notice that in your life, you have different times when you come into alignment with what is true for you, and you feel it on like a really deep level, and it makes it very clear as to what and who and how people have come into your sphere of recognition and influence. And I got the trash truck going by, taking out the emotional garbage there, right? And yeah, that Scorpio full moon is going to take us deep. It's going to take us under some of those roots. So if there's something that needs to be vet out of you and kind of like, pulled up by the root and let go, emotionally speaking, that is something that will become apparent or has the potential to be apparent over the next few days. Some of you will also be able to sense that already. You may already be feeling like, okay, there's something that I feel is out of alignment in my life, and that's that Scorpio full moon energy kind of already working with you. Okay. Thank you, Kimberly, for the happy Mother's Day. You're at work. I understand. Some of you are working and lurking, and I get it. Thank you so much, though, ladies. And, who knows? We'll see how it goes throughout the course of the readings today. If not, Jason and I will come up with something fun to co stream. That's how it goes. Okay, so the Scorpio full moon, just be ready for that deep Scorpio watery energy going to get down under things and like kind of move them up emotionally speaking. So we've got that coming up. Also, a really good time for release if you need to release, right? But it also, I don't think this is the kind of full moon where you need to force any kind of release. Scorpio energies will take care of that. If it needs to come up and out, it will. We've also got tomorrow. This is cool that I'm premiering the Taurus bonus reading because Mercury is entering Taurus tomorrow. And it really is about reframing your essential needs. What is important and what's not. So here we have the Scorpio full moon kind of giving us the opportunity to kind of pull up and out some of those emotional truths and see where they are and are not in alignment in our life. And then we have Mercury, which is all like the mind and the mental energies getting activated in Taurus. But Taurus is the energy of being grounded and comfortable. What do we really need? What needs to be in place here? What is really important? Where am I maybe focusing on frivolous things, or I'm focusing too much outside of myself and I need to ground back into me and take a look at what is most important. So keep that in mind. You may have some of these energies already coming up. If you're like me, sometimes you begin to work with these before the transitions even happen, and it will depend on your blueprint. Sometimes people, it happens after, and sometimes depending on what your personal chart looks like, you may not have a strong influence at all from these different transitions. So, always keeping that in mind. We still have to live our lives. If you wanted to, you could spend every day pinpointing every little piece of your astrology, but your body tells you, your emotions tell you, have so many things that are already indicating to you how you're transitioning through life, how you are moving. And so, this is just like little refreshers of you might watch for this. And sometimes also, you may not really feel the pull in you, but you may see it in the people around you as well. And you can be like, oh, okay, that's that energy working. Now, we also have the whole month of May, we have Venus in Aries and Mars in Leo. So we've got some fire energy here that's going to, and I'm all about this because this is where the energy feels like that crest of the wave, the creators on the crest. It really feels like we can catch that wave. This is going to be about confidence. It's going to be about moving forward in some way in your life. So something gets moved forward. And it really feels to me like, even though it's fiery, passionate energy coming on kind of warm and strong with Leo and Aries, both having those effects there, it also to me feels like a breath of fresh air, especially after the majority of the retrograde energies are now over. We still have one retrograde going on, but we had that retrograde season and it was kind of grinding on everybody because you were already connecting to the active energies that we were about to enter into, but you were still feeling that pullback, little bit of a grind, little bit of a like, I'm trying to move, but I can't fully move yet. And so now, this month, as the month progresses, you have the opportunity, again, depending on your chart, to maybe feel that momentum forward a little bit more and you can catch that wave and really feel like you're on the crest there. However, of course, we always have our aspects that challenge us and bring us into the shadows. And we've got Pluto retrograding in Aquarius, while also, Chiron, which Chiron is our wounded healer, is approaching a conjunction to Eris, 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 in Aries, Aries. Okay, so, and this little conjunction, and I learned this particular one here from Molly McCord. So, if you like astrology, I recommend Molly McCord Astrology here on YouTube. She's on Instagram too. Great sense of humor, intuitive, and I just really like her content. But she was talking about how this is the first time that this conjunction is happening in 50 years, so half a century for those of us, for me who's approaching that milestone, those of us who may be approaching that. And here it comes. Every time I talk about the shadows, the stuff comes up. The nose is running, the coughing starts. Okay, so this is about trauma and wounding. All right, so here we are. We feeling the momentum of that trine, moving forward. Right, we're going. We're like, yeah, and then we feel these other minor conjunctions here, and oh, there's a little trauma. There's a little wounding I bumped into. Obsessions also prevalent during this time, and psychological issues. Again, remembering that you may be seeing this in yourself or others around you too. So that's why it's important to keep an eye open for these energies. Now, here also, and here comes the trash again. Yep, they're back. It's like the same one. Didn't you already? Weren't you already here? Like, maybe they have to now go the other direction. I don't know. It's their route, but it's fine. They're doing their job, and we appreciate it. We don't want trash. Oh, there they go. Okay, so what we want to send out with the trash is the manipulations, the lying. Okay, so people who are fractured or fragmented in the psyche, in their psyche, in their psychology, you're going to be seeing this more and more. Um, Hopefully, if you're attracted to my channel, you're in a position, you've done a good amount of healing for yourself, and you aren't slipping so strongly into these tendencies, but you very well may be dealing with them in others, in the workplace, family members, just when you're driving. I mean, some of you probably see this when you're driving, just odd, off behavior, right? And so it's a good time to just keep an extra eye, keep the third eye open for manipulations, lying, and also the advancing of certain agendas, watching that you don't get caught up in the advancing of certain maybe agendas of fear and de-evolutionary energies, right? And how do we do that? We do that by healing the self, by doing the real work within ourselves, by being honest with ourselves about things. So that's what it is. Okay, we're going to get into the collective read here. I'm going to get a sip of tea. Today I have the Earl Grey tea with bergamot. And I've got my coffee and I've got my water, like 3 drinks over here. And so we're going to do a collective read. So this is just kind of naturally evolved. When I do the collective reads here, let me get a timestamp because Almost forgot to do that. All right. When I do the collective reads, I found that the oracle cards are really powerful as far as just giving us an overview. Okay, these are the energies going on right now. These are the reminders we need. These are the things to incorporate. Now, today we're also focused on having fun, right? Having a little more fun, lightening up a little bit, maybe not feeling so burdened. Maybe you're planning an activity that you find to be fun. Maybe you're spending more time outdoors and that's fun for you. You know, people have different ideas of what fun is. But just looking at the way that you can have more fun in a healthy manner, maybe connect in with your inner child a little bit, that part of you that always had that beautiful laugh and that beautiful innocence and just was so curious and having a great time in life, right? Connecting with that part of yourself is what we'll go into here with the oracle cards. And then we'll do the breakout readings, which will be pretty straightforward today. And I'll discuss after we do the collective. Okay. So let's get some oracle cards here. We're going to start. I'm really feeling called to start with the Whispers of Aloha. So we're going to kind of ease ourselves in. I love this beautiful deck. Anyone here, I always talk about Hawaii and I ask if you've been to Hawaii, if it's on your bucket list. It's just because I feel so connected to that part of the world. And in my astrology, my heart line is really close to that area. It's like right in the Pacific Ocean. It's like my heart line and something else, like something else important in my astrology. And it's like Hawaii's in the middle of those two. And it's really close to my heart. And I love this deck. It gives me that little aloha feeling. Okay. And we are getting some of the beautiful Hawaiian flowers. I don't know what kind of flower this is here, but this is a number 9 card. And it says, Love lives on. Honor your past, present, and future love. And I'll hold the card up. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the colors there. It feels I'm definitely getting kind of the motherly Mother's Day kind of feeling. Maybe this is remembering something like a positive memory about your mother, whether she's passed on or alive. This could be a nice reminder that love lives on. All right. And that also it's important to honor the love within you. What maybe you loved in the past that's not a part of your life anymore. Where are you experiencing love in the present moment? And what are your manifestations taking you toward when it comes to love? Right. And so we're kind of looking at the different aspects. Now, also keeping in mind that at some point, as we're working with these energies, we want to come to the point of timelessness. So, a good way to be able to do that is to kind of explore the timeline. So, we're looking at our past, we're looking at our present, and we're looking at our future. And then we're seeing how those kind of meld together. If you imagine time more like we have like a cone. So, imagine like a sugar cone for ice cream, right? And we have that kind of energy and it comes to the apex up here. This is kind of like a point of timelessness. And then as we come into the dimensional realities, it begins to the energy spreads out, and then we move in these cycles, in these circles, in these spirals, and we experience what we call time, right? And there's an important message here of really holding on to what it means to love and what love means according to how we relate to our past, present, and future. Whew, and I got a little warmer energy here coming up for that. So it's really beautiful. I love how the droplets of dew are on here as well, a little bit of that watery energy. This could be important and relatable during this Scorpio full moon, where you're really bringing up and out that emotional truth of love lives on, and understanding that on a greater level. Whew, yes. Okay. So remembering love and leading with love. Number nine. Number nine is the number of the Hermit card in the tarot. Maybe spending just a little personal time with that energy is important. Let's get a crystal from the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck to see what might be helpful in assisting us with more fun. And here it is. And Ashley, I'm gonna call you out because this might be a good stone for you. You were talking about overcoming your fears of being seen, right? Or being in front of others. We have Tiger's Eye here. And it's about overcoming your fears. So, in order for us to relax and have more fun, this is a great stone, a great reminder. Overcoming your fears is important, and they're usually tiger's eye is kind of a brown and golden stone here, and when it's polished it almost looks like wood, like it has wood striations and like golden streaks going through it, and you're really looking for that gold in all the brown and all the muck. We're really looking for that gold to be able to connect with that energy of fun. And maybe that's why I'm wearing the yellows today. And I've got some soft yellows, I've got some bright yellows, I've got the gold. So gold may also be something important for you. There's another stone that's coming up for me. It's very similar to tiger's eye. It's called tiger iron. And I believe in addition to kind of having looking like this, it can be maybe a little more reddish in color, and it also has streaks of hematite in it, which look more silvery. And so tiger iron, that might feel like a better stone to work with right now with the Taurus energies going on. So tiger's eye or tiger iron, if anybody has that crystal on hand. Hi, Kanal. How are you? All right, let's get a card from the animals. The animals, sometimes I feel like the creatures of this world, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, taking humans kind of out of it, they're kind of a glue that holds the world together. And so animals can really help us to also embrace more fun. And there is also this energy here. This is really interesting because it kind of really vibes with this tiger eye stone, the colors and just the feel that I get. We got camel. This is from messages from your animal spirit guides. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. And yes, this is all when we think about this is taking me to that Mercury and Taurus that's happening tomorrow. We're kind of upon this energy. The camel is super resourceful, right? It can survive for like a long time in the desert. It knows how to dedicate the appropriate amount of water to its body and stores water in its body, right? And this is that energy of what's really important. What resources do I need? So, in order for us to embrace having more fun, we might need to get out of our own way a little with what we think we need or what we think we should do. And just look at what resources do I have available to me. Now, I'm also kind of getting one of the things when I started the channel that it kind of grew into is just like I want to have fun on my channel. I want to have fun doing this. I am always looking deep into the energies, and sometimes the energies feel heavy and they don't feel so great, right? And we're looking at shadows and we're looking at fears, and sometimes it helps to kind of lighten that a bit. And so I want to have fun. So you'll see if you go back and look at any of the playlists for the signs during the monthly readings, I would like get dressed up and have a good time. And you take some flack for that sometimes. You're like, people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Like, and it's just like, whatever. Like, you're not having fun. I am, and it's about having fun. So sometimes it's embracing that goofy side and using like goofiness and laughter and fun as one of your resources, right, in life. And that will really help you overcome some of the challenges that you might be facing. So we've kind of got a pull into the astrology of that Mercury going into Taurus, really reevaluating what's important. What do I need to carry with me as I go forward, and what's out the door? Okay, now I'm going to get into some decks that tend to be more fun, but I want to get a card from the Inner Child Oracle, because the inner child is so helpful when we connect with him or her within us. It is just such a feeling immediately, like when I connect with a younger version of me. I was aware because of my empathic abilities that were at the forefront of my personality and just who I was. I was aware that things weren't quite right here in the world. And I grew up in the 80s. The economy was better. The movies were amazing. There was just a lot going on that just felt happier, better. But I could still feel that things weren't quite right here. And even with that, though, I was outdoors a lot. I was playing, I was a lot closer. I was getting dirty, I was playing in the mud. I was weaving grass bracelets. I was picking thistles and, just doing different things. Like, there were carefree moments that I can go back and connect with. And I think that's important, whatever that is for you. Even if it's some of the, like, they used to have better candy too. Like, the candy was better. It was probably actually better quality candy. I know sugar is sugar, whatever. I get it. But, I feel like there was better candy, and like that's all gone now. Like, the candy these days is like, ugh, gross. No offense if you like candy. Like, I just feel like so much of it is very, very different from what it used to be. Okay, so for the inner child, we got review your responsibilities. Okay, this is very important because this can mean that we will find power in the act of either releasing responsibility. So if you're feeling like you're being overly responsible, maybe like your work is putting too much responsibility on your shoulders and they're not paying you for it. That's very common right now. Many of you know this. You're not, like, the world just keeps getting more and more expensive, but they're not paying you more, even though your value and your worth is so much more. And, there, it's like just hard on the people, right? And so, is it releasing some level of responsibility? Is it having a conversation with your manager about, like, if I'm going to be doing these things, or here's a list of all the things I am doing and I'm doing them successfully, I need to be paid for that. So if I am going to be responsible for this, this is what I need. And maybe it's making some of those hard decisions to release a job if that is not working out for you, or you're unable to have those conversations, right, with your people, your manager, your boss, the people at work. And then on the flip side, this can also mean taking up responsibility. Maybe you need to take up responsibility for your personal time, for your self care, and take responsibility for asking for more of that. Maybe you need more time to have fun, to connect with your inner child. And so sometimes the house cleaning can wait, or that person that wants you to hang out with them, they can wait. If they respect you and they will still be a part of your life, even if you can't go to whatever they want you to go to. Having that there and saying, okay, it's not my responsibility to do that. I know they would like that, but it's more my responsibility right now to take care of myself. That's what I need to do. That's what I'm going to focus on. So it's really distinguishing what is your responsibility and what is not. I'm getting a very Six of Swords feeling from this card, of like sailing to calmer waters. So today it says review your physical, mental, and emotional responsibilities. If we hold that which we are not meant to, we can be drained. And if we deny that which we are meant to hold, we can become powerless. And I'll show you the image here. And there's that boat. Oftentimes in the Six of Swords card, we see a boat. And it really is about moving ourselves to those calmer waters. and making sure that, in all of it, at the end of the day, we are the ones responsible for ourselves, right? If we're an adult, we're responsible for ourselves, our space, our time, our energy. And so that's coming up. Being able to do that so you can create a space of more fun and lightheartedness in your life. So if there's any kind of get togethers or pressures coming in from other people, it's about saying, you know what, that's a need that they may have, but that's not my need. And my need is to take care of myself in this way. And this is where I'm going to stay empowered. Right. So, and then, of course, if there's something that you need to take up the helm of responsibility on, that's important too. Like, Ashley, I don't mean to pick on you, but you gave me a great example earlier about saying, about the responsibility of getting more comfortable being in front of others. You don't have to shock yourself into it. You can do it little by little by little, right? But that is something where you will feel more empowered because I went through it. If you ask anybody that knew me, you can even see it. I started the channel in 2019 and I didn't do anything with it much. I did like one interview style thing with my friend Michael because I was like terrified to be on camera. And if you go back to my older stuff, you'll be like, oh, it was much different. I was just on my phone. I didn't have a camera at the time, right? I still use my phone to this day, but I have a camera now. It will eventually get more and more comfortable. And maybe it's not online. Maybe it's something in person you want to do with others or a small group, starting with a small group, right? And just building up that confidence. So, Ashley, I just bring it up because a lot of people can relate to that. Being seen has not always been safe for all of us. And so, whether it be this lifetime, past lifetimes, all of the above, right? Being seen. And so, easing yourself into it little by little. What is a way that you can push on that a little? Because we know it's coming up for you because there's a part of your being that wants to be seen and has that desire and need to be seen. And that's going to help you become empowered. So that's the part of you that's standing up and saying, yes, I would like that. What can you do to honor that part of you? Just a little step, right? It may not be coming live on a co-stream on YouTube. Oh my gosh, that's big. That's scary. There's other people watching, right? It may not be doing a full-fledged podcast interview at first. It might just be inching into it, and sometimes it might be small things like just showing up and speaking at the kids PTA meeting or something like that, right? It can be something small. It can be maybe just having a FaceTime call with a friend instead of just a phone call, right? Just some different ways that you can go about it. All right, we're going to go into the magical mermaids and dolphins deck here because when we're having fun and we're embracing the childlike spirit, this is my daughter's favorite deck. She loves this one. And anytime we do circle time and we pull cards, she loves this one. We got treasure chest. Yay! Woo! This sounds fun to me. And I think all of you might want to say, yes, please. I embrace that. An unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you now. And she's pulling up the top of a treasure chest, and there is that beautiful yellow golden light peeking through. So, who's claiming this one? I know I am. I know I am. I'm claiming this. A treasure chest, a windfall of abundance comes to you now. Abundance comes in many forms, y'all. So opening yourself up to what that might be for you. What is valuable to you? What does that windfall look like for you? And just bring it into your, I know you can think of it, and there's that mental energy that's so powerful and we create, but also bring it into your heart. Bring it into your heart, why it's important to you, what kind of windfall you're looking for. And, maybe it's an abundance of people who care about you. Maybe it's an abundance of people who will support you being seen, right? Maybe that's the kind of abundance. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's money, maybe it's flexibility, time flexibility. What is the windfall that you'd like to have? Okay, we're going to go into the magical unicorns, another one of my daughter's favorites. She kind of outgrew unicorns at some point. She was kind of into them, and then she outgrew them. All right, now this one takes me back too, because remember how we think about ourselves as a child and we're like, oh, we had so much energy, or we look at a child now and they're like, oh, they have so much energy. We can still get that in our lives through exercise. We got exercise, everybody. Run, walk, swim. Have you ever played at one of those water parks? Like a water park would be fun, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. So, exercise, moving the body. That's come up before on Frequency Friday. We've talked about movement. Anytime you're feeling like a stuck energy, moving your body can 9 times out of 10 be the first key to unlocking where you need to be next. It's sometimes just releasing from the body. I know that Jason and I like taking Blaze on walks slash jogs, and we're getting kind of our jogging pace back. And there are times like where I have to like slow down and kind of do the power walking, and I do a lot of this like kind of shaking off when I'm doing that, because I can feel my muscles being super engaged and overwhelmed, and it just helps to like shake it off. Even just shake doing dancing where you're shaking your body. For women, like I'm seeing belly dancing, like just getting the hips moving and just like shaking things off. That's important. Exercise can really assist us. Okay, we're gonna also go into our own little treasure chest here. Of these are different like charms. They're like little pins, but I like to sometimes use these to have a little bit more fun in readings. I like to get a pinch of them and see what we get. Sometimes symbols assist us with things here. So let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to start here with, we got a hand holding an ice cream cone. So remember, I was talking about like, and that's definitely a sugar cone. It's got the pointy end. And so our relationship to time, but also the sweetness of life. I don't like anything blue. This is like a blue cotton candy looking ice cream. I don't eat blue things unless they're blueberries, right? But blue is showing up here. I think it's just about having fun and enjoying the sweetness of life here. So we've got that as one of our symbols to embrace there. Children like sweets, you know. Now I know some of you don't do a lot of sugar, but maybe it's just treating yourself in some special way, in the way that is supportive of how you eat, some sort of sweet treat. Fruits can be very sweet, especially if you have cleared your palate from processed sugar. You can eat like a grapefruit, will be really, really sweet. Apples are sweet, strawberries can be sweet, you know, those kinds of things. We've got something very interesting here too. We got the Minecraft. We got the Minecraft title here. And I'm really getting the sense of building blocks, like the building blocks of matter here with this Minecraft. I've seen my kids play it, right? And they have all kinds of different characters. I think there's like a Minecraft movie out now with like Jack Black or whatever. Minecraft is coming up, and I think reflecting on what have been the building blocks of your life, and what you've overcome, what you how you've been able to, in there you have to sometimes build things to protect yourself at night, things like that. Sometimes you're mining for that treasure, right? That treasure chest, you're mining for that. And so this is kind of a nice reminder. Maybe you need to go see the movie. I don't know. Maybe it'll, sometimes watching movie with kids or in a theater of kids that are laughing and giggling and having a good time can be good for the spirit and the soul. So that may also be of importance. We've got a tent here, a camping tent. So I am wondering if some of you are thinking about, okay, the weather's nicer, warmer. I would like to get out in nature, really immersed in nature. This is like not a camper van. This is not a luxury RV. This is a camping tent. And there is something about this that when we really get out in nature, and we're going to go maybe for a couple days and we won't have access to a shower, maybe we have to hike somewhere and use that exercise to get there. But there's something about camping. And also, though, kids love to sleep in tents outside. Did you ever do that in your backyard when you were a kid? Did you ever put up a tent and sleep in your backyard, like your parents let you sleep in your backyard one night? Kids love to do that. Kids love to set up tents in the house too, right? And play in these tents. It's kind of like having your own little space for play. Maybe some of you need that little corner to yourself. So if it's not about actual camping, and getting out in nature, maybe you do need to sleep outside one night if it's safe to do so where you live. Maybe it is about setting up a little tent in a corner and just having a little reading nook or a writing nook and making something more fun for yourself there. We also got the rainbow. Okay. And the rainbow, I know that there's agendas around this as a symbol. And so I just want to move away from that for a moment. But the rainbow is a reflection. If we think about a prism and we think about the light reflecting through a prism and how white light goes in and all these brilliant colors come out, and I think this is about immersing yourself in the different vibrational energies that make you you. But also, when you think of yourself as a child, like a lot of us, we had crowns, we drew rainbows, right? We did the Roy G. Biv, we drew rainbows, also a symbol for Hawaii. So I'm bringing that up again. I'll bring up Hawaii as much as I need to until we all live there together, right? So that's coming up again. So somebody needs to hear that. It's meant to inspire the unique way that we reflect. And as children, we can experience a lot of wounding when we reflect our beautiful nature, our fun nature. Like I remember when I was young, there was a girl at my summer school program, and compared to me, she had definitely gone through that phase. I was at an age where I still had, luckily, fortunately, some innocence intact. And she was very, you know, did not have that, okay, for whatever reason. And I didn't know her all that well, but I would have fun. I would make jokes. I would just be having a good time. It was freaking summer school. You got to have a good time because you're kind of bored about being there. And she would go around telling other people that I was like immature and shit. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Like, I don't know you that well. Like, I'm just having fun. Like, what is, And I just was like, remember thinking, what is her problem? And it was kind of at that tween age or whatever. And I'm just like, this is summer school, And maybe she had to be there because for a different reason than I did. I was taking the course to get it out of the way so that I wouldn't have to take it during the year. She might have been taking it because she didn't pass it. I think she was someone who was in that energy. And it was just kind of, like as a kid, we go through those things that just wound us. Like, why? Like in my mind, I was like, why would somebody think that of me and then tell other people that? She never said it to my face. She would just go around telling other people that. And then they would tell me. And it's like, what? What is that? Like, so we go through these woundings, but like as an adult, I reflect back and I'm like, something was going on in her life. Something was happened to that girl. Like something stole her innocence, ruined her innocence, did something. And so she was angry, and so sometimes, especially kids, they act out toward something that they wish they had, right? And so as an adult, I see that, but as a kid, I remember being like upset, for a while and kind of disturbed as to why this girl would have a problem with me or think I was immature, right? So very interesting. Just a quick story there. Um, yes, Ashley says, I'm going there soon. I don't know how or when, but I'm going to Hawaii. That's right. That is right. We also have a little bit of love popping up here. I want to say I'm going to go with puppy love on this, and it's hello, I'm yours, and it's like a name tag. So I don't know if where everybody's at in their love life, but there's something or someone showing up here, an energy. It might be from childhood, it might be remembering somebody that you were fond of and they were fond of you, or it might just be that childhood crush coming up, maybe coming back around in your life, somebody that you knew before, and it says, hello, I'm yours. So there's this kind of lovey dovey thing. Maybe it was like your first boyfriend or girlfriend, somebody you held hands with, something that was sweet for you around that. So just remembering, love and joyful and little crushes when you were a kid, that's coming up, right? All right, so there we have some symbols. That is our collective energy reading today. So thanks everyone for tuning into that. Let me get a timestamp and we'll talk about the breakout readings here. So the breakout readings today are going to be very simply divided up. So the theme is fun. So there's going to be F, U, and N. I'm going to do 3 readings. We're going to do the F in fun, the U in fun, and the N in fun. So, whatever you gravitate to, especially if you're listening to the replay, whatever you gravitate to, or you can listen to all 3 and see what messages might be held in each one. But we're going to do F U, not F U. Stop that because that would be not nice. F U N, fun. So, we're doing F U N. All right. Let's start with our group F here, the F in fun. We're going to tarot. I do have the kawaii, so it's like our little kind of kawaii, Hawaii. I'm kind of feeling that again. Ashley, your energy must be really strong for that because, yeah, I feel it. I know I have the energy, but it comes up when you're around, doesn't it? So I can't wait till the moment you get to be there in that energy. So we're going to pull some tarot cards here. I'm just clearing them out, getting a nice good shuffle for our F group here. The F in fun. What do we need to be reminded of? What do we need to release? What do we need to let go? What would be the things that we can embrace to have more fun? All right, this is looking good here. All right, and we will get some clarifiers as well here in a moment. I'm just going to go with the traditional Rider-Waite, which is my still like my go-to deck for so many things because it's the beginning. It's the alpha and the omega of tarot as far as I'm concerned. The Rider-Waite Smith depictions. Okay. All right, tea. Everybody get a sip of tea, water, whatever. Coffee. Big dog barking back there. All right. Letting us know. Okay, so we're starting out here. We're starting out with the Ten of Swords energy. Remember all those sweet treats I'm talking about here? This is really about, and maybe this Scorpio full moon here coming up for us would be a good time for us to really release those times when something was supposed to be sweet for us. It was supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be good. And it rained on our parade here. The Ten of Swords marks some sort of ending. And when you end something, you can reset as well. Thank you, Kimberly, for being on. I'll see you later. Woo! Shoo. All right. Something does want to be cleared out with this Ten of Swords, and it feels like times maybe growing up that were supposed to be sweet, but for some reason it rained on your parade or it turned sour for you. And, there was just this energy that you couldn't enjoy what you were meant to enjoy. All right. It took the wind out of your sail. It took the F out of your fun, right? And so we're acknowledging that. We're going to acknowledge that there was something possibly in our childhood that happened, Or you may feel like, I also get this sense for some people where they may feel like doomed at times, like every time things get good, something bad happens, the other shoe drops, that kind of energy. So some of you are working on removing that from your energy. All right. And sometimes that has to happen in phases. It may not just be something that you can do overnight. Although some of you, if you've been working on this, if you're like, that's me, when things are good, I always have this fear that something is going to come and take it away or something bad will happen. When you're in that energy, and you've worked on it for quite some time, maybe you have gotten to finally getting down to the root. And this Scorpio full moon can help you, like, let's dig it up from the bottom up. And we're going to get all the boundaries, like they do when, how doctors talk about the borders with like cancer cells when they're doing a surgery. We're going to get all that. We're going to get it all from the root up, and we're removing this. I feel like some of you have done work on this, but it still lingers there. And so maybe this Scorpio full moon, you have a ritual in mind that will help you release that, so that when it comes to actually having good things in life and enjoying yourself, you can just be purely in that energy, with the knowing that whatever comes your way, your whatever challenge, you're going to overcome it. And you're showing me that here with the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is a celebration, and it's about prioritizing fun and celebration in your life. So here we have 2 little penguins, and one of them's on a seahorse, one of them's on a dolphin. It's such cute energy, and they're cheersing and toasting and having a good time together. This is a merry-go-rounds. Going to like amusement parks and things might be fun and important for some of you, or doing that with your kids may be important. But remembering too that in those times, in those places where we actually are embracing that, we're allowed to have that experience. We're allowed to enjoy the fullness, enjoy the moment, and not be worried about it raining, like the rainstorm coming down. In fact, if it does rain, we're going to dance in the rain, right? It's that kind of energy. Nothing is going to take these 2 penguins away from their fun here. And the 6 of Cups also speaks to a more youthful, innocent energy. So, turning off the Netflix and the Hulu and the drama and the agendas and all that, and tuning out from that, the drama, and tuning in just to your spirit and nature. So, so important. If you have children or children around you, they can be a wonderful way to mirror and reflect to you these beautiful energies. So, having more fun, creating more moments of fun, and knowing that you deserve them, and knowing that every time you honor that, you're reconnecting with that inner child from somewhere in your past, right? And that little inner child gets seen, she or he gets recognized, they get integrated into your heart space, and you carry them with you forward, right? And that's done in much love. We have the Queen of Cups here, so more water energy, a 6 of Cups and a Queen of Cups. These emotional energies that Scorpio full moon is going to be bringing up for us is meant to put us in a place of having fun, and also caring for ourselves. For some of you, I see this as working with flowers, making arrangements of flowers, or doing like little crafts, arts and crafts with your kids, something like that. We almost have like this shell here, and we have the little mobile, almost this little mermaid, and we have our big comfy kitty here getting in the Taurus energies. And she's holding a little bouquet of, like, with a little sea creature in there, of what I would equate to flowers. So for you, it might be flowers, seashells, maybe doing like some sort of art project that might just kind of spark your innocence and your more carefree fun as like a self care tool. So you could be doing that as well, coming into that energy. For others of you, it may be reconnecting or connecting with mother energy for you, your mom, or somebody who, grandma, somebody who you were close to, a woman that you were close to, a queen that you're close to, the queen in you, how you love yourself, how you celebrate yourself, how you, as I here I am, there's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And as you go through those transitions, yes, I may be going from mother to crone in my life with my age, right? Half a century. Oh my gosh. But at the same time, I get to pull and bring little me with me. She gets to come along. Little me gets to come along for the rest of the journey. And she will always have her own autonomy in there somewhere, but she will also be able to witness the woman she's become. And these are the parts of yourself, the aspects of your psyche that you want to bring forward, whether you're male or female. Because I know, plenty of guys, they had fun playing outside, playing in the neighborhood, riding bikes with friends. I'm getting that ET vibe, where they're all riding bikes, they're all hanging out. Those kinds of movies like, the Sandlot, all these things where the boys are having fun together. So I'm getting it on both sides, male or female there, how important that is. Let's get some clarifiers. I think it'd be nice to look into the Rider Waite here. We're going to clarify the Ten of Swords, see if we can get a little bit more information about the potential wound where you feel like, all right, I am, whoop, 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 two cards coming out. All right. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But I always have that lingering fear in the back of my mind that something's going to rain on my parade or take this away from me, right? If you have that subconscious fear made conscious, that's what we're going to clarify there. We're going to clarify the Six of Cups and the Queen of Cups here. Ooh, okay. So for this Ten of Swords, that fear of every time something's going well for me, something sweet in life, in the back of my mind or somewhere, I just always feel like there's going to be a rain on my parade. We got the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands. These came out together as a pair. This is a very fast moving energy that will clear out this. I think it does for a lot of you. This is showing me what I was picking up before. Some of you have done the work to a degree that you've gained the wisdom. The power of your intuition is very strong here to be able to clear out with this Eight of Wands. Wands is fire, it's transformative energy. To be able to clear out of your subconscious wherever that came from, wherever that fear of like every time something's going well, something or someone comes along and takes it away from me, that is being cleared out. And it really is. We've got the beautiful pomegranates, like the sweet juice of the pomegranate. It really is you being present with that sweetness of life that you might have been connected to when you were a child. And then something happened and it made you feel unsafe in that energy where you couldn't just relax and enjoy that, right? But you're reclaiming that now. The High Priestess is a card recognizing that you've come into a certain balance. You are reclaiming these energies for yourself. And the Eight of Wands can come in a transformative manner and help you clear that out. Now, for the Six of Cups, this kind of a heavy energy coming in. We got the Devil card coming in. That's a Capricorn energy here. And I feel like what this is really speaking to me of, it's not like I'm not getting like a super scary energy. In fact, my daughter calls this one, when it comes out, she calls him the big fatty. She calls him the big fatty because of his belly. And so she's like, I don't want to get the big fatty. And I'm like, big fatty has a message too. But what this feels to me like is that some of you may have had to work. Capricorn energy is about work. They're very hard workers. Maybe you had to work at a younger age. You had to get a job as soon as possible. Maybe you wanted to get out of the house. So you're like, I gotta, work. Or if you're like me, you started early. Like I started working when I was 11, 12, babysitting. And then when I was 14, as soon as I could, I got like a part-time job and all of that kind of thing. And I think it's recognizing that point where you were naturally, hopefully, for it doesn't work this way for all of us, but naturally kind of coming to that phase where the innocence and the fun times turn into the work and the effort, and you're starting to gain more responsibilities. All right. So there's that uh, preteen, teenage kind of challenges that's being recognized here. And for some of you, I think you had to get a job. You had to get a job, or you wanted to get a job because it gave you something to do. But it kind of like there was less time for play and more for work and focus on work. Now, the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Cups. And I feel like as we move through this little 3 card reading here, we're moving into the energies of what we desire and what serves us. So, one of the things that's always been really important to me, and I have seen it in others, mirrored to me from my external environment. You guys remember that Steve Irwin, Crikey, the crocodile hunter, I guess they would call him. But he was really about conservation and awareness and education and all that. I remember feeling a certain way when he passed away. And what I came to realize was that that was someone, I mean, it was tragic how he died, and that, his kids and everything. And it was kind of a freak kind of thing. Like he could have done that 100 times in this one time. And that the alpha stingray that killed him, it stung him like in his chest, in the heart. And that really like got me, because I think it was the very what do I want to say? Obvious graphic message of that person died. He died doing what he loved to do. He died like in his element, in what he loved to do. And that was important to me. I was like sitting there, like working in the corporate world, grinding away for the paycheck, feeling like this job just over broke, was what I had to do. And I remember feeling at that time like, oh my gosh, like I want to die doing what I love. I don't want to go out of this world um being miserable in a gray cube and constantly chasing fires of an organization that doesn't deserve my time and energy anyway, and doesn't even care about me as a person. That is would not be dying doing what I love. So I had to say, what is it? What really matters to me for the second half of my life? I don't care how old I am. I have to get in this energy of caring for myself, being kind to myself, being honest with myself, and I need to choose to do what I love to do and not choose what I think I have to do, right? And I know a lot of you are in different phases with that, right? And you're more and more every day trying to take the steps toward creating the life. I mean, we still got to get resources, we still need money, we still have bills, we still have all these confines that lead us into having to have these resources, right? But there are steps we can take, and this energy with the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Cups is telling me, and this is something Jason and I have been talking about lately, the decisions we make are more important than ever. It's more important than ever to make good decisions with the people you surround yourself with the kind of jobs you take, with the kind of contracts you engage in, with what you do with your resources, right? It's so important for that, for those to be decisions that align with your heart, with your purpose, with your mission, and with what you're meant to do. Now, sometimes we have to go and we have to work that job for a while, right? I worked it for years. I was in the corporate world for almost 20 years, right? And we have to do those things, or we feel like we do, until we work through the tension within us And the emotions, and you can see I still release. I'm still releasing that amount of time that I spent doing something I didn't really love. I tried to convince myself I loved it for so long. It gave me great experience. I had all these things that I gained from it. So it wasn't like I lost that. It was an experience that my soul needed to go through. And I think if you can lessen that burden a little bit, if you can just kind of lighten that load a little bit with yourself of the expectations, and just try to see what choices do you have and what are the best choices that you can make with the choices that you're given. And each time you're just going to tweak away at that a little. For some of us, for most of us, it's not an overnight thing. For the few people there are, some people are really comfortable risk taking. They make big decisions, they're just impulsive and they can do that. They have it in their chart to do that. But most people need some level of comfort. They need some level to know things are going to be working out. They're responsible for children. They have things that need to be cared for, right? And so that's what we're working with here. This is not elementary school kind of stuff, right? So when it comes to having fun and putting the F back in fun, it's about really finding, focusing, and having the fortitude, we'll use all F's there, to move into more and more what you love, little by little, if you have to, day by day, if you have to. But there's an energy going on with the collective right now as well, that is, people are seeing this, they're questioning that. And to be honest, a lot of those jobs are going to be eliminated anyway. They're going to be replaced with robotics and AI. There's initiatives in all of the major corporations to do that. Don't think there isn't. It was going on when I was there years ago, and they were offshoring. Well, even that though is going to be, eliminated with computers and all of that. And so, it really is you finding inside yourself what you can do and beginning to make little moves, little tweaks, little fine tunings in your life toward that, right? And then when you're ready, you'll take the bigger leaps. It's really up to you. Oh, I love this. Now, I pulled this card recently for a friend, when I was doing a reading, but it says, "My greatest spiritual shifts do not come through force. They come through freedom. My greatest spiritual shifts do not come through force. They come through freedom." Yeah. And as you move into more and more of your mission, your purpose, what you're called to do, and overcoming your fears, releasing, letting go, transforming, the more free you will feel little by little. Again, I get called to say this is probably not going to happen overnight for most people, but it is happening in every decision you make, in every move you make. And so everything, every small decision, every large decision, are you choosing that bowl of fruit, or are you choosing the ice cream with the artificial flavor? Like every little choice, right? It's either going to feed your fears or it's going to feed your freedom. And so it's really important to take accountability for that right now. Oh my, feeling it. Let's get a little message, because I always like to look into the masculine and feminine energies for a little more guidance and what we need to know, so we can work with, the yin, the yang, the right brain, the left brain, and really see what's going on. So let's get a card from the Journey to the Divine Masculine, and let's see what the masculine energies have to say about us making these moves. And I keep feeling, now I'm feeling Steve Irwin's energy. Okay, we got surrender from the masculine, letting go of negativity, listening to the higher wisdom from the self, and shifting out of ego and into the soul self. And this is like a white surrender flag with a red heart painted on. And for the masculine energies to come in and lead with this, I think is really important. This would be the masculine energy of aligning with his purpose and his soul, and then taking action. So before you can take action in alignment, you want to make sure you're surrendering the negativity, you're surrendering the fears, you're surrendering the things that would hold you back, that you're deciding not to carry that heaviness or that weight anymore. I feel for some of you, you've been carrying something specific for a long time, and it's time to you to take the action to let it go here with this surrender card. Surrendering into that love energy that we got in the collective reading, the past, the present, the future. We're going to give back responsibility. I'm feeling for some of you, it's like there were people who placed responsibility, could be parents, could have been, when you were working, when you were younger, placed responsibilities on you that shouldn't have been placed upon you. We're seeing it in the collective culture right now. There's the wholesome, fun-loving energies for kids is harder and harder to come by. Everything is that they're putting out there very adult, very mature, very sexualized, and not giving children the opportunity to just have that natural progression. The feminine is coming in with, so we've got the masculine. This is so interesting because I might think these would be reversed. The feminine is coming here saying, don't ignore you are ignoring, or a warning not to ignore the red flags. Don't sweep things under the rug. We've got to surrender into this energy. And if your spiritual truths are going to come from freedom, you have to free yourself from relationships and people that aren't supportive of you. And or on maybe the lighter end of this, maybe there's something that's been bothering you that you need to share with a partner. You need to have a boundary. Maybe this is in the work environment. There's some sort of something that you feel like you can't stand up and say, and it really prevents you from connecting with the energies of freedom. And so it prevents you from shifting into those energies that you do want to feel, that connect you with your mission and your purpose. So the masculine and feminine coming here with some really important advice. Surrender, let go of negativity. Don't ignore the red flags, address them. If you find yourself in that place where you feel like, I really wish I could say something, or I should have said something, I didn't stand up for myself, it's not too late. I do get it's not too late. You will have an opportunity, but make sure you catch that wave when it comes in for you. You're going to do so, though, like the masculine is suggesting, from your higher self, okay? From your wisdom, not from expectation, getting a little vibe of like being the good girl or good boy, or, minding your P's and Q's when really you need to stand up for yourself. Getting kind of a sense too of like, like kids being like told, go hug, grandma or grandpa, and they don't really want to hug them, that kind of energy of like expectation, letting that go, freeing yourself from that. I think certain things may have interrupted at times in our lives for group F here, our free will choice, and could have been expectations of the adults around us. And that's one of the ways we get to feeling like maybe we're forced into energies instead of being able to freely move into them. So that's big. That's big. I'm going to get a sip of tea, and we'll transition into the U group in fun, the U in fun. So you see how when we go into these energies, we see the good, the bold, the beautiful. We see the fears, we see the shadows, we see the ugliness as well. But in order for us to have more fun, these are the things we're working through. These are the things, the very real things that we're on this playground working through here in life. All right, let's get us a timestamp here, and we will get into group U. How is group you having fun? What are they working on? What is the highest and best advice for group you to work through the energies of the present moment of what's going on for them and what they are moving toward? Okay. You for unique. Yes. All right. Now, I'm going to go into this one saying right off the bat, I am getting a more, whereas the first F reading there, it felt more spiritual, emotional. This feels more practical. Okay, I'm going to go with the date energy. Now, remember, we got the Two of Cups here. We've got our beautiful little dolphin. Is there a certain kind of dolphin? They're so cute. I forget what they're called, but they're certain. I think they're in Japan, and they're giving a little toast to each other here, and they're having fun. Dolphins are probably one of the most fun. They love to have fun. I don't know how you could watch dolphins playing and not laugh and just feel that sense of delight. I really get that out of this energy, that that is something that is craved by you, by group you here. You want fun. You want to have fun on dates or dating. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to have a good time. It's vacation energy. It's partnership energy. It's coming together with someone else or a group of someone's. If you know you're single and you're just having a good time. This is also the energy of dating yourself, taking yourself on a nice date, aligning your own energies, aligning, you know, your positive and negative charge, that yin and yang within you. I definitely get the kind of the yin yang feeling, like the symbol from this card here. And then, so we have that in the heart. We have that kind of energy in the heart. And then we're kind of moving into more practical energies. We've got the Six of Pentacles here in this deck. It's coins. This is where our exchanges actually feel more balanced with people. So a lot of you have done work here where there's some area of your life where you feel like your relationships and your exchanges with others are more balanced. Maybe some of you have found that job or that career where you feel like the amount of effort I'm putting in is what I'm being paid for, right? Things feel a little more balanced here in this reading as far as the practical world. The resources seem to be there. Things are in balance. And then we got the Nine of Pentacles or the Nine of Coins. And look at this little poodle here. Oh my goodness, isn't she fancy? I get kind of a fancy Nancy. This is something, the books my daughter read, the Fancy Nancy books. This is maybe getting a little fancy with yourself. Maybe you do get dressed up just to get dressed up because you like it. You have fun. Who cares? Like, maybe you like cosplay, all right? That doesn't mean you're living a fake life. If you want to get dressed up, have fun, go to Comic-Con or do whatever, right? This is a very practical application to this energy here where I know how to put the pieces together in my life to have fun, and I can do it, and I can get fancy. I can be uniquely me. I can have a good time with this. I can dress up. I can dance wildly, right? I can do whatever I need to do here that will bring my energies into balance. So, this reading is kind of speaking to me of that balance is important. So, some of you may have some Libra running through here. I'm getting the Libra vibe with the scales and that six. And there's effort and energy going into that. And there's an importance in saying that balance comes through your efforts to incorporate more fun and freedom into your life. All right, let's get some clarifications here. I keep looking at those charms, those little pins again. I think we're going to have to go back in there before it's all said and done, maybe in the closing. So let's get some clarifiers for the Two of Cups. We got the Eight of Cups. For the Six of Pentacles or coins, we got the Two of Wands. And for the Nine of Pentacles coins, we get the Two of Swords. Whew. Kind of feel like the Rider-Waite is kind of showing us the underlying shadowy energy or the things that are needing to happen to help us move this. So when we think about celebrating, coming into balance, that yin yang, and having a good time, there's the energy of the Eight of Cups showing up. In order for us to embrace this energy here, we have to be able to leave behind the the way we thought things should line up for us. All right, and maybe that's the first you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you get married, you have 2.5 kids, all of that kind of stuff of what maybe you were taught about love and how to love and enjoy life. You're learning that's not, I'm leaving that behind. That may not be my story. That may not be what worked for someone else, doesn't work for me. I feel like there's a walking away of comparison energy here, and instead coming into this, I'm gonna vibe with my high vibe tribe here. I'm gonna be with my soul fam. And if I'm not recognizing a person or a group of people as really supporting those energies in me, I'm gonna be willing to walk away. We got the moon there. We've got the moon there, and it's an energy that kind of it would have normally have the ability to kind of eclipse the fun if you let it. But if you're saying, you know what, I choose, I just choose, and I'm telling myself I'm letting that go and I'm walking away from it, it's it's going to help you out in this situation. Embrace more balance within you here. We have a lot of twos coming up in this reading, so I feel like there's a lot of duality. There's a lot of partnership energy, duality, the power of the two here. For the Six of Coins or Pentacles, we got the Two of Wands here. Okay, Two of Wands. Now this is the Two of Wands, fire energy, but also very thoughtful, very, there's something being considered here. How does balance really look in my life? How do I take the practical steps to get there? And so some of you are on the precipice of some sort of transformative energy. I'm not sure you're fully in the fires of transformation here, but you are definitely looking at it and you're like, okay, because you're looking ahead to it. This character has the world, the crystal ball world in their hands. They know what they need to do, but they're not in it yet completely. So there's something that you need to do that's going to bring that balance, that's going to bring that more equal exchange with people, jobs, the whole nine yards, right, into your life. But you may not yet be doing it. You are looking at it, and it's important, but there is an implied like transformation is coming here, and you're going to move into then the 3 and the 4. For some of you it could feel like you are coming out of like having to clear the slate completely. They call it the tabla rasa, right? You're clearing the slate completely and you're getting into a more balanced energy, but you're at the beginning of the cycle. And that's okay. We all have to be at that place at some point. And that's what I'm feeling here. Hello, Laura. How are you? Laura, I have information in the description for this live and all of my videos on how to get a reading. And then I also have lives every other Sunday night where you can get a free mini reading. Thank you for asking and welcome. Glad you're here. Okay, so there we are. We're kind of at the beginning of a certain transformation, and we know that this transformation is going to bring balance into us. We're willing to walk away from people and situations that don't feel like they're balanced within us and they're not serving us. We are giving ourselves permission, hopefully, to be fancy and to have a good time here. The Nine of Pentacles. It's clarified by the Two of Swords. To me, honestly, this time, instead of confusion, the energy that I get is guilt. Some of you are going through a little bit of a blockage to this Nine of Pentacles, which would have you really feeling grateful and being in a sense of gratitude about what you've created and how you add your special touch to life. And what's your unique signature here? This is very unique. Remember, I was getting the for this you reading. And some of you are blocked with like a guilt here or a grief of some kind. Like you feel guilty for having fun, for maybe like having fun while someone else is not, for maybe feeling like you can enjoy the pleasures of life when someone else is suffering, right? There's that kind of energy underlying it here. And that's tricky because a lot of us, when we're old souls, we've been through it. We've lost people, we've gained people, we've been through a lot of these ins and outs. And some people just don't, they can't work with the program. Okay, they struggle to work in the program of the world and master the physical world here. And I think some of you, when you get in these beautiful energies and you feel like you do have a mastery over something in this physical world that's very real to you, and you can celebrate and you can have gratitude for what you've built, and that feels good. There's this little twinge of guilt or sadness that maybe someone else isn't feeling that. But we have to also remember that every soul has their own unique journey and that it's also not your responsibility. You can walk away from energies that don't align. And so too, the person that you're feeling bad about, or the people in general that you feel bad about leaving behind, they too will have their own choice to walk away from that when they are ready. And it's about allowing them that experience. So, the better job you can do of staying in gratitude, of surrounding yourself with just even like little simple pleasures. This can be done in a very inexpensive manner, right? Around our home. A lot of us have things sitting around that we could use to pretty something up or make something nicer. Remember, as we go through the motion of doing that, we're changing ourselves from the inside out. And then we have this beautiful outward reflection that we get to enjoy about ourselves, right? All right, so let's get a card. This is the Super Attractor Oracle. I think in the F reading, I forgot to say that, but here, this is the Super Attractor Oracle, and I love the messages that it has for us. Okay, and it says here, I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith in myself and the universe are enough to allow my vision to become reality. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Whew. There's something in me that just needed to get something out there. I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become my reality. So, Ashley, there's that beautiful vision of seeing yourself, visioning yourself in Hawaii on the beach, doing some parasailing, seeing the dolphins, little spinner dolphins, and they dance their little tails in the water. It's amazing. You're just seeing yourself, seeing the beautiful rainbows that form after rain there and really embracing that energy, right? That's one example. What is it for you? Ask yourself, if it's not Hawaii, what is it for you, right? What will help your vision become your reality? Okay. Now, maybe you're not in Hawaii yet, but maybe you can get some little plumeria, like a little hair flower. You could start wearing that. You can get, a little hula skirt and just have a good time, right? There's lots of little things you can do to point yourself in that direction till the time you get there, right? All right, let's get the masculine energies here. What do the masculine energies want to remind group you of today? What are the most important masculine energies, the highest and best messages from the masculine that we can look into here or that are a part of this? The masculine is giving us heartbreak, plain and simple heartbreak. And I was feeling that with the guilt that some of you may be carrying about being in joy and being in gratitude while others suffer. I'm not sure I'm getting this as much as like a couple feeling like I'm heartbroken from a relationship. That could be for some of you. You could still be healing that. Your idea of love, it didn't work out the way you thought. There's a part of you healing that up. But I also get it's that you have a sensitive heart and a loving heart toward the world. And it breaks your heart that people are struggling and that people are suffering. Now, the masculine is saying, and you know, that's what makes you human. That's what makes you a humane being. You care. You care. And it's just remembering that unless you're a steward of a younger child who has not yet grown into adulthood, every adult is responsible for choosing their path, whether they choose gratitude and freedom or suffering, right? Or a combination of both, right? It's their path. And so while on the surface, our heart breaks for people who are struggling, at the same time, we have to kind of rise to this level within our souls in understanding that that's their path and it's up to them to choose to walk a different path. All right. And that's a fine line. That's hard, especially if you're dealing with someone who's been close to you and you see them struggle. All right. Now the feminine is coming in, and I'm the beautiful like forest and tree energies, the trees behind me really standing out here, awakening. This is about your spiritual evolution, changing your behavior, slowing down to reflect, shifting your priorities and values, right? And transformation of the inner world. What a beautiful energy the feminine brings in here. Through the heart breaking, the masculine is showing us we have this opportunity to awaken into more presence, into more potential, into the relationships and the lives that are in alignment. And it all sounds fun and good, right? But hard work is behind all of this, right? And when I say hard work, I mean on the soul level, because we're having to let go of some big things, right? All the while getting all these pressures from the 3D reality that we're in. So when we have those moments, and maybe it is those moments in the forest, on our nature hikes, being outside, hearing the birds, hearing the frogs, and we have an owl that's nesting back here, and I love hearing the owl. And I just when I hear the owl, like I turn everything off around me. I just listen to it, right? Because as I listen to the owl, I'm listening to my own inner wisdom, and I'm able to transform from that place, and I'm able to then rise up, okay? Through the heartbreaking. When the heart breaks open, it breaks open for more and more potential, more and more capacity to love. And that is what the masculine and feminine are so beautifully saying here in this reading. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. That's beautiful balance. Those are beautiful reminders. And I love that because at the end of the day, we do have to work to let ourselves off the hook for certain things that are not ours. And coming up in this reading and in the astrology is what are we responsible for and what are others responsible for, right? And how many burdens could we be picking up that really belong to others? And by doing so, might we be robbing that person of their soul's experience by trying to do that, right? By trying to take on what is theirs. I get it because I know some of you resonate. I'm getting that Kuan Yin energy. The Kuan Yin is the goddess who slows down her vibration and stays present with humanity until all souls have a chance to evolve to that point. But and you know that's beautiful, and that's very kind, and it's also compassionate, and at the same time Kuan Yin is what my friend Wally from Navajo traditional teachings would call the holy people. Kuan Yin is a holy person. We're here in 3D reality as a human. We're not in the holy person status yet, as much as we would like to think we're ascending and all of this stuff, right? The real work is to be done here on the physical plane. And so at that time, when your soul graduates to the level of ascended master or holy person or whatever, then you can choose to be Kuan Yin if you want to. And I think some of you need to hear that. Like you can absolutely identify with those energies and you can embrace compassion, but you're also allowed to have boundaries with it. You don't have to take on other people's responsibility. And in fact, you have to ask yourself, if I'm taking it on, when might that cross the line of interfering with that person's particular freedom in choosing their own path, right? And it's energetics we're dealing with here. It's energetics. All right, let's go on to group in our fun series here, heading back to the Kauai Tarot. How's everybody doing? If you're still here, just say hello, drop a comment, drop some emojis. Someone came home, so Blaze got let in and he's staring at me through the you're staring at me through the screen, aren't you? Yeah, he's looking at me like, well, I have to do the reading. I can't come back over there right now, but you're fine. Yeah. Let me know you're still here. I want to hear from you in the comments. All right. Let's get reading N going here. The N in fun. Woo. Yes. Okay. We got the Judgment card. I like that. I'm liking that. These are sticky, too sticky. If it doesn't come out, it's got to be shuffled again. I saw some emojis there. I see you. Hello. We got the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles, and our third card's coming out quite naturally, the Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, I like how we're getting a little bit more of the practical world blended in here in reading in. But yet we have this powerful major arcana energy of the Judgment card. Now, this is you accepting what you're being called to at a higher level. All right. Maybe some of you, like I mentioned in the previous reading, you're called to the energies of compassion and extending kindness and care in some way. Maybe that's part of your mission, your purpose. Others of you are working on overcoming certain fears, right? And you're learning how to rise above the turbulent waters and into something that is your higher purpose and calling. So we have a little bunny rabbit blowing a horn on top of a Pegasus unicorn thing. I love the look of these. And we have our little narwhals down in the waters looking up toward, oh, okay. This is my soul's calling. I'm hearing this calling. It's a clarion call. This is a call from your greater being to you. This is a call from the universe to you. And you are figuring out what that is. All right. You're doing that while you're holding the energies of the practical world. Okay. So there's this extension of your energy into the higher realms, right? Where you're beginning to connect. It's kind of like your energy and the energy from the universe are beginning to match up and overlap. I'm seeing like these circular spherical energies overlapping. So you're coming into that and you're having that experience, but you still have to be here in the practical world. You're still like, I got to live life, right? And so the Queen of Pentacles comes in and says, you need to live life, yes, but we're also going to allow you to receive some of these higher codes, some of these messages that are coming from your connection to the soul tribe, the spiritual realm, your soul group, the universe, your greater being, your higher self. These are the energies that are coming in. I still see I have Ashley and Teresa. Awesome, ladies. Yay. So we have this beautiful calling here. And then the Queen says, and we're going to allow you to receive that while you're here in this physical body. You're worthy of receiving this. I would like you to stay in your throne and receive these beautiful energies. Note how these little flowers, what are these called? I can't remember them. They're like somewhere in a dusty folder in my brain, but these little flowers that they kind of like hang with their cups like that. Dang, I can't remember. Maybe one of you knows, but we've got roses, we've got daisies, we got all kinds of flowers here. Let them come to you. Let this energy come to you as a human in the physical body, making mistakes, having faults, having warts, having all the things, having all those, like I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to allow myself to receive because I am meant to be here. I am meant to move forward in this world with this Knight of Pentacles with my carrot. This isn't about having a carrot dangled in front of you. You have the carrot. You have the carrot here. Look at this little guy. He's got the carrot. He's got the plan. He's got the strategy. He's got the mission. He's got the purpose. He has the vision. He has the sight. He's high up. He's got that higher viewpoint. You have to allow yourself to receive it so that then you can take action with that carrot that the universe is bringing to you. Not these fake carrots that get dangled in front of you, the ones that lead to like greed and the hamster wheel of life, right? This is the juicy, real carrot that you've cultivated, you've grown. It's been in the ground. You've pulled it from the dirt. It is yours. It's got the little pinnacle on it right there. It's stamped. It's got your seal of approval, and you are leading with that, right? You have your sustenance in the physical world in a place where you can receive these energies, okay? And it's beautiful. I know, isn't this kawaii deck so cute and awesome? Sometimes when the energies are heavy, I like these decks because they lighten it up. And today's about fun. And that kawaii deck, it keeps things lighter, the cute little animals, the fluffy clouds, the whole 9 yards. Nicole, hello. You were right on time. You made it whenever you're meant to be here. So, and everybody, the replay will be up with timestamps shortly after I finish up today. So that's good news. You can always come back and check out the breakout readings at your leisure. Let's get some clarifiers though now let's go with the Judgment card first. The 9 of Cups comes out. There we go. That's feeling more fulfilled. When you're really answering the call of your greater being, of your higher self, you naturally feel more fulfilled. The Queen of Pentacles, clarified by the King of Swords, that's clarity coming in, and the Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the 10 of Cups. This is beautiful movement. When you're answering the call of your greater being, it does bring you emotional stability. It's something you can feel good about. It's like adding a trophy to the shelf of your soul here. Okay. If we look at each cup as like a trophy that you've earned, that is yours, that you have always been connected to, but now you're bringing it into the physical world. That's the energy of the 9 of Cups. And it's a very fulfilled energy. And notice that the character does have their arms crossed here. They have appropriate boundaries around this, right? That's beautiful. I don't feel in this particular reading like that character is blocked. I feel like they're honoring their boundaries. I feel like they're honoring their heart. They're honoring their calling. And so there's a satisfaction there. And the arms are actually crossed under the heart in that yellow solar plexus area. A lot of yellow in this card. Yellow energy is important. The Queen of Pentacles, she's clarified by the King of Swords here. All right. So we have a king and a queen. We have air and earth here working together. As you allow yourself to receive the energies that are rightfully yours, you're receiving the codes and the information that are aligned with your purpose and your mission, and you're allowing yourself to receive that, the clarity comes, the crystal clear clarity. Now, this can happen pretty fast for some people. Once you're aligning with your energies, right? This can happen really fast. Yes, welcome. Is Tiak? That's a pretty name. I do. And good things, we want to set our sights on the good things that are in alignment with us. And I know you feel stuck at times, but remember, that's just energy, and the energy can change for you. So you just have to put yourself in this seat of the queen of receiving the beautiful energies and what you're meant to know from the universe and your greater being. It's that inside job, and then the clarity comes. And with this clarity can come the action as well. Maybe how you communicate something, maybe how you navigate something, but it's coming. With the Knight of Pentacles, we got the Ten of Cups. That's the movement. That's the movement to go get that 10th cup. You have 9 beautiful trophies, and you go and get the 10th one, and you kind of complete your set. You complete a portion of your mission. The cycle will continue, but this is how we move the energy. The Knight of Pentacles moves a little slower. This to me feels like you are setting up something more for the long term, right? It's not necessarily a super quick kind of thing, but you're willing to begin to live and to look at your life from a higher perspective, and to the energies that make you feel complete. There we have that rainbow energy coming in again. That's come in a lot today. The rain, the rainbow, right? And reminding us that we are moving in that direction because we have answered the call of our higher self and our greater being. Okay, let's get an oracle card from the Super Attractor Oracle here. A nice affirmation that Group N can use to remind them of their strength and of what they are in fact allowed to receive, because it's natural law, it's natural alignment. It says here, manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe and your greater calling to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. And that's what the Knight does. That's what the Knight does. All right. This is about co-creating with the universe, co-creating with your greater being, co-creating with those higher realms that you're connected to. Yes, you're in human form. Yes, you're here having the experience, but you are connected to that. And we have an elevation here, and we have a sun shining through the clouds, through the storm clouds once again. Yeah. All right, now let's get some messages from the masculine and feminine energies. Let's go with the journey to the divine masculine. Oh, whew. You say, yes, we are all aligned. We're working toward alignment, aren't we? Our world is misaligned in a lot of ways. There's a lot of misaligned energy at the moment, but we're all connected. Definitely, we're all connected. Like a Lego set, like the Beastie Boys said, we're all connected like a Lego set. One equals one together. All right, enough rapping. Let's go with some feminine energy here. Oh, we got a couple. I'm going to put them together because to me, this feels like, and it's going to be a coming together of you with you, a reconciliation, and we got spirit baby. This is you reconciling in your energies, whether you're masculine or feminine, with the purpose and the spirit that you came into this world with at that moment of conception, right? When your heart was formed, right? The soul itself, the pure soul, came into the body, And this is you connecting with that pure part of your soul again. So birth stories aside, what was going on with mom when she was carrying you in her womb, we're going to put that aside. This is your pure and divine and rightful connection with yourself, with your purpose, with your mission, pure and simple as you came into the world. And that's what you're reconciling here. That's that inner baby work, that inner child work, right? But because we are being called to these higher realms and being connected, we're reconnecting, we're reconciling that part of us, and we're bringing it to the forefront in our life today. All right. And we're doing so. We got that Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles in practical ways. The practical ways are being revealed to us because of the work that we're doing, because of the reconciliation. This is a beautiful marriage between masculine, divine masculine, and feminine energies, reconciling your pure natural soul's light, that which cannot be touched, right? And embracing that. Okay, stick around because we're going to do a few closing musings here. And at the very beginning, if you missed the beginning, when I post the replay, be sure to catch the reminders. I want to wish everyone again a happy Mother's Day, as that might apply to you. I've got a premiere coming out tomorrow. I've got a new series coming out these next couple of weeks for up leveling your life. So stay tuned for that. But most importantly, I've been looking at this bowl of charms, and I want to get back into it and pull some out for us to close us off today. So we're going to get a little handful and see what came up here. I'm going to get a few more. I don't think I got enough. I'm going to get some down here, down in this corner. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost too much coming out here. Oh, wow. This is wild. Okay. First of all, we have little baby Yoda, as they call him, or Grogu. And this reminds me a lot of the spirit baby card we just pulled, because he's little, but he's so wise. This particular species in the Star Wars lore, they age differently than humans. So he's a little baby, but he's like 50 years old. He's like my age, half a century old. And comes in. This is reminding yourself you come in with wisdom already to this world. And he's kind of got this determined look on his face, like, I'm gonna do my mission, my purpose. I'm gonna follow my path. He's got this little determined face on him. Yeah. So that's really cute. It's really cute. And he's a little green guy, and he's super cute. And I think it's also, like I've said in some of the readings, it's like reconnecting and loving on that inner child of yours, really letting that inner child be loved on. And sometimes you got to spend a little time to do that, right? We're having fun. What are we doing? Or maybe we're going roller skating. Okay. Maybe we're going to put some roller skates. These are some old school roller skates here. Maybe we're going to, roll along to the music, roller skating, ice skating, rollerblading, moving, and momentum is coming in here, and it's fun, right? Swimming, whatever you feel most comfortable doing. All right. And you got to find the thing that works for you, that gives you the momentum, but it feels very fun to do. So my kids go roller skating sometimes with their homeschool group, and they're not every time, but more often than not, I put skates on too and get out there and do a little roller skating, because I find it fun. And it's just like, you don't have to think about anything else except where you're going and making sure you don't fall down. So it kind of puts you in that space. And I remember roller skating a lot as a child too. So um, that's a fun kind of energy. Now we've got this beautiful symbol of the world, like a map of the globe, but it's in a heart shaped here. And I think this speaks to you being a creator being, and you being someone who has found my channel, and you're connected to the energy of being a creator and what it means to create a reality. You're telling me you want to create a reality that has a whole lot more love, compassion, care. You actually came here with a unique and sacred connection to the planet herself, to Mother Earth. So happy Mother's Day to great big Mama Gaia. Let her give you a big hug and you give her a big hug this weekend. And just know that this is a very sacred and loving relationship for you to be here. No matter what your family's been like, no matter what your upbringing's been like, no matter what you've had to struggle through, you have a sacred agreement with her to be here, living on the face of her planet and having that loving exchange with Mother Earth. So, big, huge, happy Mother's Day to Mama Gaia. We love her, Gaia Sophia. Somebody's yelling in the background there. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's sip of tea. Okay, we got two leaves here. Kind of what it's reminding me of is making like a fan of leaves, or even like I'm getting feathers, even though I see these as like two like palm leaves. Or some sort of leaves. Again, that's giving me that vibe of two partnership, how we work together, the two aspects of the different duality aspects of ourselves, like the masculine, the feminine, um, creator, reactor, figuring out like everything in between those energies there. So there's a duality kind of sense here that I get. It came up once before, very interesting. Sometimes, I think when we're looking at we're looking at the polarity, the law of polarity, alchemically speaking, right? And there are these tendencies in our world to get pulled into one extreme or the other. And so many a times we're trying to find that balance point in this dualistic universe of contrasting expressions, right? So it's really coming in. The yin and yang came up, absolutely right. That came up multiple times before. We've got two great white shark energies. I got this little red shark guy, and then I got a great white like charm here. This is big. This is big energy. This is yes, in one sense, when we think of the great white, we think of the apex predator in the ocean, right? And we've acknowledged already that there are some very manipulative energies floating around, and we do have to be aware when someone isn't being um, pure in their intentions, when someone is manipulating, when someone is being, a predator. And we need to be able to put ourselves in a position where we're not in alignment with being the prey of that energy, right? And then we do that through healing, we do that through growth, we do that through self-care, self-respect, all the things that we talk about that empower us to be a creator being. So maybe some of you do have missions with that have to do with healing the world from the predatory nature that exists in some human beings, or you're clearing that out of your psyche and your energetic field. That's being acknowledged here. And then again, y'all, we got two loving energies. We've got a banner that says win my heart, and one that says hello, I'm yours. And that hello, I'm yours came up before in the collective reading. So some of you have very loving energies that are present around you. Maybe you just need that reminder, because this is in the form of a name tag. Maybe it has to do with partnership energy for you. Maybe some of you are wanting or looking for a more heartfelt connection. You really want someone who captures your heart. The heart energy comes up like 3 times here in one way or another. Maybe you're becoming the champion of your own heart, right? And you're protecting it, and you're nourishing it, and you're nurturing it, and you're opening it. By opening your heart, you're actually protecting yourself. And that will call in the right energies of the person who will then also champion life from an open hearted place as well. And this is beautiful. And then again, y'all, we got the Minecraft. Some of these came out twice. Building blocks. the building blocks of matter, the foundations, how we build things, how we excavate things, the healing process, what it takes, navigating daytime, navigating nighttime, and the shadows. That's coming up with the Minecraft energy. Maybe I need to go see the new movie. I don't know. My kids saw it already without me, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But these are the messages that come up, and the charms are kind of a fun way to close out today. I have really enjoyed being here with you. I want to welcome the new people who have come in. Thank you for commenting in the chat. I hope you feel very welcome and that you join again next Friday. But also, just a quick reminder, the next Sunday that I'm doing live free readings, mini readings on the channel is Sunday, the 18th of May from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time. Okay. And so if you can join, then we would love to see you. It's a great community. It's very welcoming. Everybody that I can get to in that hour, I will get to. So come in early, drop a question, and get your reading. Also, be sure to check out the description that I have connected to this live. There's information about what we reviewed today. There'll be timestamps that I will upload, but also there's information for how to connect with me further if you'd like a personal reading. I hope that this found you at just the right time. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Nicole said, make sure to put a thumbs up on the video. Your comments, your emojis, your thumbs up really help. Be sure to check out some of the other videos I have this weekend on my channel. And remember, I have some fun premieres coming up. So much love to all of you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.